This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about CJ Gardner-Johnson bringing the toughness back to Philly. Also, we got to talk about Mekhi Becton possibly being the best run blocker on his team. And lastly, Sidney Brown is ready, but let's get straight into it. All right, so before we get straight into it, Saquon Barkley, as he is dropping videos clip after clip of him working, of him grinding, my hard knocks, the Giants fans riding them. He just dropping videos, working, eagle emojis, football emojis, year seven loading, all types of stuff. So Saquon is doing everything he can to prove a lot of people wrong, especially Giants fans, especially that front office. I think the front office more than Giants fans, because Giants fans are doing what they supposed to do. They riding for their organization. We'll see how that work probably by week 8 through week 10. See what their record is and see what happens to their GM and their coaches and stuff. But right now, they riding for their team. I gotta give it up to them. I mean, it's stupid. I think it is. Like, you gotta think of us like Hassan Reddick. Like, look, we love Hassan Reddick. I wish they paid him, but we're not gonna down Hassan Reddick for wanting to get paid and possibly want to get traded. That just is what it is. That's the business. Eagle fans are more smarter than Giants fans, but Giants fans are being true homers right now. Saquon proved them wrong. Proved them wrong. The funny thing is about the 27-year-old running back type thing, they signed Singletary, who was about 26 going on 27. So I don't get it. I don't get their logic. The cap hits are the same. So I really don't get their logic of this. Oh, we letting Saquon go because of this and that, but you signed Devin Singletary. I don't get it. I just simply don't get it. But Saquon keep working. All right, so let's talk about CJ Gardner-Johnson bringing that toughness back to Philadelphia. So the ESPN, the Zets, personnels, and stuff like that, they dropped their top 10 safeties and the honorable mentions. Now, CJ Gardner-Johnson wasn't top 10 for whatever reason. I think it was the injuries, but he wasn't top 10, but he made the honorable mentions. But as I go down this list, I seen a name that been rumored to go to the Eagles for a minute, and he's still a free agent, Justin Simmons. So Justin Simmons is still out there, but he made the honorable mentions of safeties. This is what the Zets had to say about Justin Simmons. Simmons had 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and 70 tackles with the Broncos in 2023. Still really good, but not the blue chip player he was. More of a high level red at this stage. Still versatile and can play in the post with leadership and smarts, and NFL personnel evaluator said. I totally agree. Simmons is older. Of course, he's not that blue chip player he was at 24, 25, but he can still play ball at a high level. Now, he's the only one on this list that's still a free agent. You know, a lot of questions are asking, like, yo, Simmons, when you gonna get signed, pick a team? He's like, yo, he got the pick of his litter right now. But then at the same time, a lot of teams are full. There were a lot of safeties, cornerbacks, and stuff out there. Then the draft, you know, a lot of teams are just loaded. And far as the Philadelphia Eagles, I think we pushing a youth movement because even if you look at the free agents, we got Mekhi Becton, young, Devin White, young. Who else we got? What, CJ Gardner Johnson, young. Like, we only signed young guys. Remember we was pushing for Calais Campbell, and a lot of fans and stuff like, why not get him? He did this, he did that. But the Eagles just let him go, and he ended up signing somewhere else. But when the rumors start coming out, and even Dave Spadaro talked about this on Philly Mike channel, he was saying like, yo, the Eagles are pushing the youth movement. They want to see what Amaro Jamo got and some of these young guys that we have got, like Milton Williams and stuff like that. So they don't want nobody really taking their time. It's time to start pushing the youth. And if we're signing guys, more than likely they're going to be young guys. So I think that's the same thing with Justin Simmons. We don't want to sign an older guy, but if an emergency happens, then I think you should. That's just my opinion because I think he can still play. But at the same time, when Sidney Brown and stuff come back, you don't want him taking time from Sidney Brown. And then let's be honest, Justin Simmons, even at this point of his career, is better than Reed Blankenship. So you'll have a Reed Blankenship and a Sidney Brown on the bench who are really young to play the older guy. So I think the Eagles are just pulling back from that philosophy a bit, and they want to keep the young guys, going. They want to keep them going. So let's talk about CJ Gardner-Johnson, man. I almost went on the whole soliloquy about Justin Simmons and the organization, but CJ Gardner-Johnson was talked about on this list as well. And this is what they had to say about CJ Gardner-Johnson. So CJ Gardner-Johnson played only 3 games for the Lions last season due to a torn pec in week 2. The Eagles signed him back because their secondary was softish without him. He's a pest, can cover the slot, play in the post, or come up and hit. I totally agree. We were soft. We were soft. If anybody's saying that, I can't disagree. Like, man, there was some bad tackling. Some bad tackling. And 49ers exposed us, man. We did. We looked soft. And, I don't want to harp on Slay, but he did go on his podcast like, yeah, man, I don't want to get my teeth knocked out and this and that, which is fine. He's an older player. Retirement's coming soon. Want all his brain cells, all his teeth. And he admitted, like, I ain't trying to go all out like that. But a guy like CJ Gardner-Johnson, Quinyon Mitchell, Keely Ringo, Isaiah Rod, these dudes hit. We got hitters now. Look, we needed a CJ Gardner-Johnson. We needed that pest, that guy that's going to annoy the opposing team, a guy that's going to get up in your face. Toughness, we needed that back in Philadelphia. I think the Eagles underestimated that last time and thought we could just replace it. But nope, we need a CJ Gardner-Johnson back because he's such a fit in Philadelphia. And that's so unique, a guy coming from another team being such a fit. Like, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Southern guy, went to the Saints. When he came to us, man, I think he took his game to another level. And I even think of a guy like AJ Brown, right? Southern guy, went to the Tennessee Titans, came to the Eagles and balled out. So if it's home for CJ Gardner-Johnson, it feel like home for CJ Gardner-Johnson. And again, the Eagles needed him back as much as he needed the Eagles back. Because Detroit wasn't a fit, man. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. Detroit wasn't a fit. Came to the Eagles, got his bag, and he's going to ball out. I believe CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to ball out because the question about CJ Gardner-Johnson is really never about his play. It's can he stay healthy? I believe he can. I believe he can, and he better because if he stay healthy, let me just say this: we a dangerous team, a dangerous team. But I couldn't agree more with this exec. We were soft. We were just simply soft. All right, so let's get into the next topic. Let's talk about Mekhi Becton. Yeah, so Baldy has some interesting things to say about Mekhi Becton as far as possibly starting, or he just said it like he will start at right guard. So let me go over what Baldy had to say. So Baldy said he's the best run blocker that the Eagles have. If he's healthy, he will play right guard for them. They are working him in there. I will keep an eye on Mekhi. He is on their depth chart backing up Mulata right now at left tackle. He is a big guy. I think Becton has a shot at being right guard. Right now, Tyler Steen probably had the advantage because he knows the Eagles system. I got to agree with Baldy. He does have a shot. I believe he has a shot at being right guard. Best run blocker. It's a little reach because Cam Jurgens was in that top 5-ish. And then you have Landon Dickerson and you have Jordan Mailata, who are great run blockers. But I will say this: Mekhi Becton might be the strongest guy. He might be the strongest guy on the line. And if you're the strongest guy, that can translate of being one of the best run blockers because now you just use your force to get guys out the way. The thing with Mekhi Becton, the reason why he fell with the Jets, because certain techniques and then the injuries. So Mekhi Becton, when he first got into the league, he was looking like he can be like an all pro for the Jets for a long time. But injuries, he just couldn't stay healthy. And when he came back, it seemed like he wasn't 100%. So he didn't look too good. But now he comes to the Eagles and he know what he was doing. He probably could have went somewhere, probably started, got another shot, but he needed Jeff Stoutland to save his career. He needed Jeff Stoutland. And that right guard position, man, is up for grabs. But what do that mean for Tyler Steen if he lose out? That means Tyler Steen just got to wait his turn. He got to wait his turn. It sucks because we got him in the third round. You hoping he's ready, and maybe he is. Maybe Mekhi Becton is just that good not to have on the bench. And now you got a guy like Tyler Steen who might just have to wait for like a Lane Johnson to retire or something like that. And he might just work his way up as time go. But whoever's on the bench, and if somebody goes down, will be a great replacement. Like Becton, like if Lane Johnson or Jordan Mailata got to miss a game or two, you know you got a solid guy. Or if it's Tyler Steen on the bench, you know you got a solid guy coming in. So look, man, it's gonna be an interesting battle. The right guard battle is gonna be very interesting as far as the offensive side of the ball. That right guard and that wide receiver three are going to be the battles to watch. And Kai Becton, again, he was a first round pick at one point. It was projected to be an all pro at one point. Do I think he just fell off a cliff like that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, look, Mekhi Becton, just keep doing you, keep working, keep grinding. You know, you will find your footing. You will find your footing. But Baldy really believes in this guy. And when Baldy speak, gotta listen, man. Gotta listen. All right, so let's get into the last topic. Sidney Brown. Is he ready? So he dropped a clip on his IG of him running full speed. He put like 5.5 months. That's what he's doing post-surgery. And Sidney Brown looked ready. I know he spoke to reporters saying like, yo, week one, he might be there. He might be there. And I would say this about Sidney Brown. Just don't rush him back. You got CJ Gardner-Johnson out there. You have Reed Blankenship out there. So you'll be fine. As long as those guys are healthy, you will be fine. Now it gets spooky if one of those guys go down. But we will be fine. So it's no reason to rush Sidney Brown back. Just keep working, keep grinding, and then you got a long week too, because that first game is on the Friday, and then I think that next game is like that Monday night game against the Falcons. So look, don't rush him back. Let him move at the correct pace because you don't want him re-injuring anything or not looking the same. I think Sidney Brown will be fine. He got youth on his side. He got modern sports medicine on his side. Because remember, a torn ACL used to be like a death sentence in the NFL. But now we see guys coming back faster than ever. And I think Sidney Brown, when he come back, he won't lose a beat. He won't lose a beat. He will be back. He will be balling out. And he got some things to prove. He got some things to prove because a lot of people are still 50-50 on Sidney Brown. Everybody just want to give his spot to Cooper DeJean, which is no disrespect to Cooper DeJean. I don't think Cooper DeJean is a safety as everybody else do. I think he is a slot or outside cornerback. Sidney Brown is a safety. Sidney Brown make most of his plays in the safety position. Imagine Sidney Brown and CJ Gardner-Johnson on the field at the same time. It's going to be insane. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Sidney Brown almost ready. Talked about Saquon a little bit. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Hell, I might as well throw Justin Simmons in there. Mekhi Becton. How do we feel about all the topics? But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.